I think it takes a minute to get started.
That's some kind of foreign language on
I think it takes
there. Close. Moderation helps everyone feel better. I ain't. Okay, I'm back. I think. Sorry about all that, but this is complicated. Now, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's a clear picture, looks like now. So, I started working this a while ago. We started up live, but it was somehow got made, clicked as made for kids, so I think that knocked out any comments. But I just kind of got to work an edge around this thing. Took a couple thinning flakes so far. My big clover shape sort of. I don't know. I hate that. Well, I was just getting comfortable. Then figured out.
Marty says it's on now. Good evening, gentlemen.
Howdy, Marty.
Alan. Alan Cole.
Howdy, Alan.
Saying you hot. Eddie Ray, P8X, how is it going, Stonehook? Eddie Ray.
I got
Alan Cole Terry's live, outstanding.
got Bill Hampton over here as my coach, manager, production manager, pretty much everything. Motivator, coach, you know. I said on that other video, I've been sitting on this Texas tab. This is just the biggest, one of the biggest. Actually got one more a little bigger than this over there. Been sitting on this thing about 5 years waiting for the right time, and this is it, I guess. First live. Hopefully it's the first, and not the second.
Marty says, heck, you guys are making a good show.
Thank you. We worked half day setting up the studio here.
Desert Walker 2 says, hi, y'all, skunk bait. LOL. Mr. Jam, good evening, everyone.
That's live bait. That's your thing. You get some live bait here. We got mariners and crickets and worms.
To you.
And sardines, but I like to eat sardines. Don't use them for bait.
Alex said, how did you hurt your finger?
This one or this one?
Alan Cole says this is where the cool kids hang out.
Now this finger, I reached to get a board in my trailer or something the other day, something stabbed me in the end of it. I'm a wimp and it's sore. This one here, my fingernail flattened off, and it's when I come down and hit my leg with it. My fingernails always hitting my britches leg, and I had a flat fingernail. I never could figure out why. Until the other night, I figured out why, finally. That's where I hit my leg with it. I come down and let that bopper hit my leg, and my fingernails contacted my breeches. I need to get this off right there. So this big flake will have a better chance of coming off smooth. Yeah, Marty, I started to do some Flint River tonight, but I decided to do this.
Marty wants to know if
Flint
they
River,
fixed your
nice
hand.
river. Okay. Sir?
Marty wants to know if they fixed your hand up yet.
No. There's my little buddy. Day after tomorrow, he'll be gone.
The alien in there.
I can't wait to get rid of him. I can tell you that. 'Cause he's growing faster than my garden. My garden's been slacking all year so far. I mean, it's been real bad, but all of a sudden, the last couple of days, got a little baby squash on there, one so far, and it's just squash at least growing like crazy. If I'd have got a little better flake, got a little more mass off over here before I took that big flake, they would have a good contour already, but I just didn't. That flake's too much of an angle. Yeah, we had fun though. Mr. Hanson come down yesterday and we've been napping and yapping and eating. He went out some New York strip steaks earlier and we grilled them up. And it was store-bought squash and zucchini, but we had a little bit of squash and zucchini fries and French fries. It was so good you won't swallow it. Y'all feel good? That's a good angle. I hope so. My favorite angle to work from really, so I can look right there and see what's in the camera. I only go to the Nibbler's Bluff Knapping, but these rock right here, you go Texas tab, most of them are only like half this size, but they're always kind of thin and flat and typically good chert all the way through. They don't have that bad middle like a lot of Texas chert does, but I just said that. Now this looks like it's got kind of some features in the middle. That'll just give it more character and color. A lot of these old men, they're just so sweet, church all the way through.
You never posted the second half of the video?
I guess I didn't. That second half was pretty long and boring though. I think it was all pressure. Well, it wasn't all pressure selection. Maybe I don't remember. I remember at the end, I couldn't believe it, but another hour.
Marty said he's been waiting all day to see how it turned out.
Darn. It's laying there somewhere. It got
No,
pretty small though.
You gave it to
I
me.
mean, let's put it on a diet. Uh-huh.
You gave it to me.
Oh, did I see it? That's the one?
Yeah. Don't tell me that Stonehook's going to Brady.
Can't make it to Brady. I'd love to make it out there to Brady and hang out with y'all everybody, because there's a lot of people coming out there, man, but I can't. Matter of fact, the 9th, I guess the day that Knapping starts, that's my appointment for my post-operation checkup visit, whatever. And I was trying to think of a way I could sneak out there and just hang out for one day if nothing else, but it just ain't gonna happen this year for sure. But I'll be the last weekend of April at Niblett. Y'all welcome to come on out there. I think that's the weekend of the 26th. I don't remember for sure, but it's the last full weekend of April. It was a Saturday and Sunday in April. Is when that Knapping always is, on the last weekend of April.
Alan Cole said, it's okay, Terry, I can't make it either.
Darn it. Well, oh well, they'll have to make do without us, Alan. Best they can.
And Jay Valdez says, great videos, Stoneboy.
Thank you, Jay. I'm making a video.
Yeah, you do. You ain't broke
But I
nothing
ain't
yet.
talking much. Yeah. Still in one piece. I ain't got to make too many excuses.
Put the jinx on you now.
Nah. I can't believe this rock's got that stuff in the middle though. I think I'm gonna cover a bunch of it. I might go back and see if I can get my money back. Nah, this rock. I've developed a long relationship with this rock. I got another one over there. It is the biggest Texas tab I ever saw. It's probably about that big, about that wide. Let me try to get the little short plates there and move my platform right there. I'm gonna go where it sits at. That is the platform on the rock right there. Platform they work better on the rock. I think.
Marty wants to know if you have any more of those self-napping rocks. I think he called them McKinley rocks.
Yep, I do. I know I have maybe 2 pieces of it. One of them Barefoot Danny gave me for a YouTube, so I can't turn loose yet. But I think I'll fix it up with something. I think I know where a couple more pieces I got hid real deep over there. And when I send you points or whatever, I might even, if it's cool with you, might just send them with all kinds of sign here. With Bill Hanson. But I don't even know if I'll have them ready by then, really. I was going to try to have them ready by today or especially tomorrow, I'm having surgery the next day and just didn't make it. Hauling all them rock out of Mississippi.
Marty said, nice, where do they come from?
They come from down the Big Bend area of Texas. Around there, right down in the Big Bend. I don't know the exact location, but it is right there in the Big Bend area of Texas. Kinley would collect that all around there where he lived and cook it. Got the H on it, got the famous H. That's the Kinley, that was cooked. Well, I guess somebody else could put an H on there, but there's the Kinley H is recognizable. I think Kinley still post points for sale on Flintknapping.com. But I haven't heard of him selling rocks in many years. So I don't know what the situation is. I haven't heard of Kinley rock in a long time. He didn't have it in his safe deposit box. Yeah, I ain't got to answer no comments in 3, 4, 5 days too on my videos. So if you made a comment, I'm sorry I ain't answered yet. But I appreciate all your comments and playing along with the guessing game of what I made what that blade was made of. That's a bad flake. It really didn't go right in there and get that off like I wanted to, and it crumbled the edge a little bit.
Uncle said plastic blade trickery.
Well, it was talked about in Jack Crafty Live. I mean, and I was afraid somebody's gonna see that and think, I took that darn blade is over. The Jack Crafty was duplicating or replicating. He had a cast other point that he was replicating the cast.
Sam Funk said, get on with it. Blessings to all.
I'm trying. Thank you, Sam. God bless you too, brother. You got some of the nicest, kindest comment. Always faithful. Makes me smile every time I read your comments, I think.
Sal wants to know if you got any self-notching rocks for sale.
Self-notching?
Notching rocks.
No, I got some biface made and stuff. I was going to send them over there to you to notch them for me. I looked at them points you make, and you got all the self-notching, or you, not really, I know you better notcher than that. You don't need self-notching rock.
Sam Funk said thank you.
Who?
Sam Folks.
Oh, Sam. You're welcome, Sam.
Marty said, Sal. He said he'd buy a few of them self-notching rocks. waiting for Mike Tuff's automatic notching machine, automatic knapping machine.
Yeah, I got a, I got, I got some stuff here like this here that can make your points smaller, and maybe two piece points. I want to pop that little head right there. Didn't get it.
Sal said he sent Mike drawings for one of those machines.
Good.
Mr.
I'll
Crazy.
sign up to try it out.
Mr. Crazy said, I heard rocks from Mars notch themselves.
Rock from where?
Mars.
I don't know nothing about a rock from Mars hardly.
I don't know, all these meteorites.
I tell you, I think there's a place in Mars, Texas, really, and I bet you could get a rock there.
Maybe that's what he means.
That way, I would have a nap in there. Knapping on Mars.
We'll invite Elon.
Probably had to rent the place from him. That'd be cool. I need to get with Leon. What's his darn name? Elon. I was trying to call him Leon. I need to get with Elon anyway. I know where there's some church. It's getting too dangerous to access it from above ground, and we need to get in there with one of the mooring rigs and mine it out there. I'm pretty sure he'll be interested.
Sal said he heard that stuff's out of this world.
But it is. I don't know. It has to be in this world to try it, though. I mean, you can't, unless you go to Mars, maybe. Because if it's out of this world, it just ain't here to try it. So, let's explain that a little better, maybe, for me. Kind of dense. But that is funny. Out of this world. I'd like to go find one of them pieces of meteorite. We had that meteorite that exploded over Ohio, and then the next day, yesterday or the day before, so there's one that exploded over here just west of here in Texas.
Another one today, I think.
Really?
They said 4 so far.
Darn. I'd love to find a piece of that meteor.
It said large blade.
Large blade. It's pretty large and getting smaller, but if I can just get this little mass off here, a little bit right here, this thing. Yeah. I'm gonna come up through here. Let this thing fall off her. Short. I ain't saying much now, so I'm really focused. Like, this is like the critical little part right here.
What are you doing now?
Just trying to shape it, get my plumb-based contour built, and not any extra mass off. I got a little extra mass right there. I got a little extra mass right up here. Need to got some there and some here. Kind of. I'm gonna work this base down, step back up here, and get this little bit of math off, and then pressure flake this bad boy. Hopefully. Little piece of concrete right there eating my lunch. I think the bopper shrunk up lengthwise there. Left 2 minutes. Use this short flake right there.
Sam said, glad I got to see your premiere.
Awesome. Thank you. I wouldn't mind doing this more often, interacting and stuff, you know. I don't get much time to interact except for late at night, typically. And I don't get much interaction in. This might be a key.
Graylin Laundry said hello from Sulphur. Been watching, been napping a little over a year. Learned a lot by watching you.
Well, howdy from over there in Sulphur. I was just in Sulphur the other day, helping a friend, the chief, actually do some dirt work right there for some concrete in Sulphur. And I got to come home with a bucket of rocks. Just took a lot of tip off it. It's too sharp anyway. I got a bad little ridge right there. Looks like Mount Everest on the end of this rock. Gotta get kind of low to get over that ridge and do anything. I'm gonna try to hit right there and kind of run down to get this whole half of the ridge at least.
Sam said y'all are fun to hang out with. Surgery will go excellent.
Thank you. I got faith and confidence. I'm just plumb happy. I wish I didn't have to do it, you know, but I'm alright. I really.
Mike Mason's on here. Said, I see the raven is hanging out with the night owl.
Yep. Home kill. He said raven home kill his ears perked up. Like what? We got some little buddies over here. Oh, he bit me. Dadgummit. Mean little dude there.
Beady eye.
I'm worried about just too high, too high. Too high up in the air and too big. It's like evil Knievel jump going up to the top of that thing. So I got to make sure I really need enough level to get it the first try. Really, my first try actually didn't work. So I really need to get it the second try. So the more times I miss and don't get it, the more I'm going to use up that edges of the tip there. Oh, I hit too short. Oh yeah.
Voila.
Now come back this side, just blend in a little bit. We've got a pretty good mass right there. I feel like I'm at a napping more so right now than like I love making videos and stuff, but it don't feel the same as live. I feel like I'm just sitting here with y'all more so, especially with Bill Hanson sitting here beside me, because it's normally pretty lonely around here. When y'all want to come on down Orange, Texas, come hang out. I'll share some of my John Tuttle rock with you.
And he's got a load.
Yeah, you can actually get in the driveway. Now, I moved enough of the ground, you can get in the driveway now and don't have to park out by the road. I don't know if you can see that real well, but I got just some mat right there I really need to get a flake underneath it.
Bobby Estes says, can you do a video where you get drunk and then make an arrowhead? I want to see if it comes out.
I don't get drunk. Like I get drunk on rocks and flakes, you know. Bring me some rocks. I'll get drunk on that and I'll make an arrowhead.
Bobby says I've got some good flint available if anybody needs any. Buck Chaser.
Buck Chaser.
Buck Chaser said, hey T-Man, gonna miss you this year at Niblets.
Oh, you ain't gonna be
He's
there
gonna
then,
go
huh?
chasing gobblers in Kansas.
Oh no. Well, I hope you get one, but I'm gonna miss you. That's the song you call my phone yet. I'm gonna miss her, but I'm gonna be thinking I'm gonna miss you. Matter of fact, last batch of Kinley rock I come across was Buck Chaser whipped it out of the truck at the Niblett Bluff Knapping. He set it up for sale. That's what he got there. It's some Kinley rock. So you can take down the for sale sign. It just got sold. And it was a box full of it. Almost looked like it just came from Kinley. That's the first rock. Actually, I was napping gravel and stuff, anything I get my hands on, you know, when finally saved up some money and I heard about Kenley settling rocks, so I ordered me a box. That's the first good rock I ever got my hands on. I ain't kidding you, I took about a piece out of that box and I just holding it up, standing up, holding it in my hand, and I just hit it, you know. Golly, I never seen a flake come off so big. A big old flake come off all the way across that rock and went down between my fingers and like to cut my finger off. I'll tell you, it cut me so bad as it slid down between my fingers. Because it was just the shape as it went, it got wider and just wedged in there and cut me really bad. And I thought, this is what's been missing in my life. Some Kenley rock. Finally a rock that I can make something out of, you know. And I commenced to making, I'll have to show them on video one day. I call them fish killers.
Well, Mr. Landry says now that you're alive, if I have any questions, I can ask.
Yep, I got a man here reading the questions and stuff for me, and I'll do my best to give you a helpful answer. Oh, man.
Andrew Humphrey said, I like to watch you nap. You ain't Jack Crafty. You, I guess he says you and Jack Crafty
You and Jack.
are best on YouTube.
Well, thank you for that. It's hard to imagine me being compared with Jack Crafty because he's always been my hero through the years. I used to watch Jack Crafty videos and ooh-wee. We nap a little different nowadays, you know, but ain't got nothing but respect for Jack Crafty. And I just can't imagine I'm even in the same sentence with Jack Crafty, you know.
So Andrew said, how long you been napping?
I'm thinking I started in about 18 years old. About at 18 years. Best I can recall because I started after we evacuated for a hurricane one time. Went up north in Cleveland where my wife's from, and I took my brother down there to show him where they found arrowheads. And he had boots on. He went wading around the edge of the water looking for arrowheads. So I just kicked my shoes off and waded out there, and there's an arrowhead laying there. And I picked that arrowhead up, and I just had to know how they make it. How they did that.
Mike Mason said Stonehook here telling woodpecker lips tough stories.
I tell you what, we got some woodpeckers around here. They give a new meaning to that. I got a metal roof shed here, a metal purlin. They'll get up on this building in here and just bang it. I had some fluorescent lights hanging up there and I guess it's buzzing. Them woodpeckers to get up there and about buck eardrum banging on the metal roof. Had one the other day in there up under the roof on the ceiling banging on the rafter. Had a carpenter bee in there or something he's after. I like my hoot owl. What the old hoot owls will just cut up around here a little more. Every time I'm out here and ain't got the camera on, nothing, they can just cut up and talk back and forth and all that. But I guess they don't want to. They feel like they might be interrupting the video. They don't cut up no more video, seems like. I used to have some birds out here at night. I'd nap at night and somebody asked me, what kind of bird is that in the background? I can't hardly hear, and I've never really heard them. I have heard birds at night. I wasn't sure what kind it was at the time. And I told him that's bugs, that's locusts or crickets or something. But come to find out, it's mockingbirds. They just stay up all night out there making noises and singing. And
Alan said, good thing I sent sutures and bonus.
yes, sir.
You have Doc in the house.
Oh yeah. You sent sutures? I hadn't seen them. Maybe they was in there by them feathers.
The ones.
I did find. I appreciate what all you sent, Alan, and the Subway gift card too. I didn't find them for a while. I happened to look back in there. I've been thinking of what something to do with them feathers, and I was gonna go look at them again, and I was looking at the feathers when I found them Subway gift cards. Man, thank you. That's just over generous. I just can't say thank you enough for y'all generosity to me. Even Bill here, he sent me rocks and things, and a case, tools. Golly, if it wasn't for y'all, I wouldn't really have much rock to work with. I live in Texas here and all that, but I just can't buy rock. So God has provided for me through y'all, and I really, really appreciate it.
And Clint Evans said, hey, Terry.
Hey, Clint. Man, I'm gonna quit right there and pressure flake the thing. I'm gonna pressure flake the edges. I believe I can get the pressure flake to go up there close to the middle and clean up anything that's left. Look how much I'm shaking like a leaf.
You need more coffee?
Yeah, I do. I got my thermos right here with rocket fuel.
Sal said, you guys have an awesome night.
Thank you, Sal. You too. I don't even know what time it is.
So Mr. Landry said, Crafty and Dan Collins told me starting napping at 69. I need to get two things, box of Band-Aids and Bengay.
Yep, I tell you what, that daggum biofreeze stuff you rub on your muscles is amazing.
Tell me how I broke my springs carrying all them rocks.
Yeah. Man, Mr. Bill showed up here, looked like my truck when I come back from John Tuttle's. The whole suspension busted out from under it stuff, and we beat them parts back out straight and welded them back together and all, got him ready to roll. But I think before we leave, I'm gonna tell him, that's a lot of rocks you got there for that suspension. It might be a good idea to kind of unload like a ship in trouble. They unload the cargo first before they start throwing passengers overboard. Now he got some fine rock. I started to get one of them and work less than that, but I didn't know I'd be able to breathe good on live. Mr. Hanson brought me some fine rock, something I probably will never have again either. What do you call it? No, but Danish flint from overseas, the real deal Danish flint. Ooh. Yeah, let's get this. I mean, pictures don't do it justice. Just the feel of that is amazingly smooth. And I'll probably work that on video.
It just shined, when you turned it.
Yeah,
it shined.
I mean, yeah, it shines. It's got a kind of not a bright shine, but it's enough of shine to it's slick. Let that concrete get a little roughed up on it.
So,
right there.
Andrew has a question.
What's that, Andrew?
Andrew says, how can I get my flakes to travel so good with pressure flaker?
Well, pressure flaker can only take thin flakes for the most part. You can do a little removal of mass if you have a heavy platform with what I like bevels. So where you got a bevel to actually seat your tool on. I got semi of a bevel here, and that was what it takes. But you can't just press a long flake out across anywhere. You've got to have the convex contour. If you see the contours, you see it's a convexity. There's a few little high spots close to the edge, but overall it's a good convex contour. And that's what pressure flakes travel on. A flat piece, and I'll tell you something else, like indirect percussion for me tends to produce really flat flake removals that does not pressure flake well. It's too flat for the pressure flake to travel and just keep traveling because it's only going to go so far. It's going to be real thin, and they tend to break off a lot. I don't even try to. If I use indirect, it's really to make something really thin, but then it's so flat. Pressure flakes just don't like to travel on a flat surface. So I'll do pretty much the finish work with the indirect. If I'm going to do something that thin, I'll do the finish work with the indirect, and just maybe pressure flake the edges. But the only way to get flakes to travel a long way is pressure flaking, or for the most part any other way, is to have a good convexity, because this is, we're controlling conchoidal fracture, and it just loves convex contours. That's all. That's what it's all about, and that's how they'll travel and peel off smooth. The termination of the flakes is very important. Was that one there? Encountered a little mass and broke off right on the end of it. It's no biggie, because I guarantee you that flake will come up on this side and catch that. But there's a point of no return too. Like, this is my first pass down this thing. This is all rough. It's not. There's nothing real consistent about those contours. So these flakes are going to be random. No two of them going to be exactly the same, but once I make this path, it'll be so smoothed in, and down this side, that contour will be smooth, and every flake will be very much consistent, just like the one before it. And if you build those contours as you go along, there at the end, everything just flows so smoothly, and everything's consistent. You know, you're not varying your angles or pressure or nothing, because you got everything built consistent with a convexity. See, right now what I'm doing, that direct percussion leaves a lot of bubble percussion with little deltas in between them. I'm not really trying to press these flakes too far unless I got a ridge where I need to. Other than that, I just want short flakes to smooth out this surface, mainly where the flake starts. It's very important, because if you're trying to work off of a too thin of an edge, if you can get enough pressure in on a thin edge to make a long flake, then that flake starts out thin because you're taking it off of a thin edge. I like to make those bevels and beef that up where my flake will actually start out thicker, and that helps it. It starts thicker, it's stronger, and it will travel farther. A thin flake just ain't going to go very far unless it's got real good contours, and then they'll go forever. I say forever. Forever how far it's got a good contour and enough energy to keep going. But it's surprising what a contour will do for flakes. That's why a lot of times you get overshots pressure flaking, because the contour is so nice. The flake can just narrow down to maybe 1/16 of an inch wide and still just travel all the way across over there and take out a 1/2 inch plug, because it just travels that convex contour. And if you're having trouble with that too, I think something, especially if you're using indirect to thin your point down, you don't get to the point of pressure flaking. If you just go down to each side of your point, take a set of short flakes, flip it over, and take another set of short flakes. What that does is build you a little bit of convexity close to the edge. So if you try to work that natural edge right after indirect percussion, typically a thin edge. It's not. It has to me, it has to have a bevel more to seat my tool, because I seat my tool. I see a lot of folks too. They put their. It's hard to show this angle, but they put their tool in there like that. My tool is actually straight in line with. I don't know how I can show this, but about like that. My tool is straight in line where I want that flake to go. So my issue stick is like pointing to right here if I went through this rock. I'm not just setting it on the edge and trying to build up pressure along the side of my stick at all. All the pressure is coming dead in the tip of this thing. That's why I can lock my hands on this leg, lock this hand on this leg and squeeze, and I put a lot of pressure straight in on that edge. Then snap it and get a big old hinge like that, because I put too much pressure, see? That's all right. We'll flute that out there in a minute.
So Uncle Mike Bob says, are you going to make live vids a regular thing? I like it.
I would like to. I would love to, because this is more fun. This is fun, really. I love interacting with snappers like y'all and stuff and trying to help. I want to help. That's all I'm here for. I want to try to help. And this is fun and seems productive. Sometimes in videos I'm thinking, well, I'm not saying nothing or anything. I can't think of what to say, and it just feels like I'm not. I don't know. But I will. The only thing is, I don't know how in the world I could nap and read comments. You know, I guess I could stop, like, you know, Jack stop there now and then, check comments, look for questions. But I would literally love to have somebody here every time I do live to read them questions, like Mr. Bill Hanson is doing right now. Because that just takes all that pressure. I'm not very technical.
Yes, you would. Ronald Carpenter said, hey Stonehill.
Had it wrong. Looky here. I just got this in the mail. Thank you for this rock. I almost was going to do this on live tonight, but Mr. Hanson working pretty hard under that truck today. RV night. I've watched him more than anything, but and my shoulder. I woke up kind of shoulder hurting this morning. So I was really gonna do some obsidian in this live and just take it easy, maybe paint my fingernails, but I decided this big Texas tab I've been sitting on for 5 years is finally wrapped. Ready to go tonight for a live stream. And I'm glad I did. I love this rock. And I got another one just like it, but a little bit bigger. It's the biggest Texas tab I've ever seen.
So Andrew said that why you the man.
Thank you. I left a bump on the tip. I just didn't get that bump. Shit, let's bring back there and make it show up. Yeah, I left a bump. That's a common thing. I do it all the time. When you got that extra mass right there by the tip, you're so close to it. The plate is hard. It takes more bevel. The reason I didn't do that, if you look, I was trying to take them flakes too high. And a high flake, that's another thing. If you got your edge too high and trying to take flakes, they just always come out short because I want the hard plane, just like them right there. They can't get in and establish their own contour to come underneath that and cut it off. They kind of start with that angle already, and they follow that angle like Evil Knievel trying to jump Snake River or something. And that's what they do. They just go straight up, boom. But if you lower this platform enough to get that tool seated slightly, I mean, it don't take much. So you see how that edge now is. I don't know if you see it better up here, but you see that edge is lower, and I've grounded enough that I can put a massive amount of pressure. That's another thing. I'm kind of timid about putting that much pressure on the tip sometimes, but that's what it takes, pressure straight in there to press that straight flake straight over across into right there. And it's hard. I mean, this little old flake, it's a small flake, but it's got a big job to do to take that much mass off and not cut off the rest of the tip over there or something. But if I seat that tool around there, see my tip, I don't sharpen my tip either because I'm using the end of that blunt piece right there to seat on these edges. That's what I seat, the very tip of that tool, and that's where all the pressure is. Even if I sharpened it, it would be dull within the next two flakes. But even a sharp point won't catch that edge. If you have a sharp point, you try and put that much pressure on that edge, it's catching, it's just too small. That's why a good flat, like a blunt tip presses straight in on that edge. Well, I was about what I was doing down here about tip, trying to get this extra. My hand didn't hold the pressure I put on. I let it rotate on me and didn't. That flake did go across that hump a little bit, but I really wanted it to cut a little bit deeper. So I'm gonna have to mow it right beside that flake on each side. Now it's fixing to be gone. Yes, that flake took off a pretty good piece of meat there, and that just transformed the shape of that tip there. But see, you got to have that. You got to use up a little edge to get that edge low enough to be able to cut under when you got a bulbous tip like that. See, I got the same thing on the other side of the point now that I'm going to have to deal with too, right there. Luckily, this platform is a little bit closer to this side, so I think I can use that to get them off right there. Get my pressure built up and then down just enough to make that flake release. Look at there, that joker went over there and overshot. There you come. Took a chunk off that side right there. That's the bad thing about the tip. You're so close to this other edge, especially when you got a bulb where you're trying to really press some pressure to get under that little mass. That's so easy to overshut them flakes, but I'm really fortunate that would really just. Okay, y'all there, I'm sorry. I did not plug up my phone and the battery went dead, but I think we're zoomed right back into the live. Got the comments on there now. Oops. Darn it, I don't remember how to get rid of them comments there. Oh, right there.
Cole said we back.
Oh well, I can't see what's in the camera all the way now. Yeah, we back. Sorry about that. That's so, there we go. Wide beat. Wide action. I was fixing to talk. I don't know when the camera went off. I don't know how long ago that camera went off. I just looked up and it was black. But I was fixing to talk about pressure flaking and not hurting yourself. Because I used to pressure flake a lot of slabs, and man, I could put so much pressure on them things. I hurt. I hurt my wrist and my right elbow, different things by using poor form. You know, like getting way up here trying to pressure flake. That's so hard on your joints, your elbows, and your wrist, everything. I get down here now and lock everything in. This hand's against this leg. This hand, the back of it's against that other leg where it pushes against this issue stick. And I squeeze the leg and lean forward, lean into that dude to put the pressure of this issue stick straight into that rock. And I think that's important. If you use your legs and all, it takes all the pressure. My wrist is really bad. They've been hurt. I fell. But as long as I keep it against that leg, I'm not having to use all my strength to hold against that. And that's very important. These wrists are They only got so many miles in them, and pressure flaking can really put some pressure on there, especially if you start shaking, which I'm, I'll go shaking sometimes too, you know, but by the time you're shaking, that's too much. Gotta back up, maybe make the platform wider or do something, because that's only going to lead to injuries trying to press that hard on the edge of a rock like that. And once you get them injuries, they're really hard to get past them, especially Flintknapping, because you re-injure them so easily and things. So it's best to develop good form where you're not hurting yourself at all. Especially pressure flaking. It's the most, it's where you put so much pressure on your joints and things. And I just use leather pads. I use 2 layers of leather. I used to use a notch pad every now and then some, and then I got to using one day, and I always would seem to be working so close to the edge of the pad. I come off there one day and put that itchy stick right there through the palm of my hand. And after that, I started with a piece of leather hanging out from under my notch pad to make sure I could not poke my hand again. But I just never was comfortable with the thickness of a notch pad. That's what I would do. And I won't think simple. I won't think so simple. Leather just seems to be the simplest, most comfortable to me. I'm very comfortable. I ain't got to worry about which way that notch is facing or nothing. I can press flakes all kinds of different directions and turn this rock and rotate it and just do so much with these two with leather pads. I use 2 layers though, because I had psoriasis, black psoriasis on my hands so bad I had to protect them. And I learned to just use 2 layers of leather, and I just couldn't be without my 2 layers of leather to pressure flake. I need to put some dust down this edge where I can see it, so I really can't see what the real edge there. Dust helps you grip in some situations, but I guess it does help here too, because I am pressing in on that dust. You know, that dust is what I'm compressing in between my stick and that rock, which helped me gripping enough to pop that flake off there. But most of the pressure is just being applied straight into that rock. That's a heavy platform there. I'm gonna look at shove my copper up in my stick. Right. And to find the Allen wrench. There it is. This here itchy stick is made of cane. That's a piece of cane with an antler, just an antler. I shaped it to fit inside the cane with a shoulder. And that wrapping there is elm bark, elm tree bark. The cambium layer actually of the elm bark. Well, that there must be fixed out, or I screwed it out on these. Yeah, I think it's gripped. Now, I think I see come down this side out here. As far as the first side, the pressure flake kind of matters a lot too. If you got more bulbs or percussion and lip flakes, like concavities close to the edge, I'll take short flakes on that side first, just to get rid of those little concavities close to the edge, because you can't pressure flake to a concavity. That's another thing. If you got any kind of concavity there, which these bulbs of percussion do produce that little bit of concavity, they will stop that flake from being able to go on the rock. Cause there's actually one right there where I think I already took these pressure flakes, so that's why that's got that little bit of concavity. You can see the difference in that edge right there, how sharp it is, and how it's got that little bit of concavity versus this little spot right here. When I press this flake, it's gonna take off a thick flake and try to travel. Any flake coming off there is going to be thin because that's just a little thin rolled down the edge. I just need a short flake right here. That platform is too strong, so I'm going to just take a short flake right there and that'll move and that'll let me set up right beside that strong spot. And it slipped. I'll move over a little more to this loose spot. There. I pressed a little harder than I needed to because I really don't need that flake to go that far out there. I just need it to come off clean. I'd rather them come off clean and smooth that surface out through there. Then the next pass, if I want to go another pass over there, those flakes, you have so much more control once you have a good clean surface. Kind of crumble up, so I'm gonna skip over here to the other side of that and try to take a flake right beside that little crumble spot. And I'll just move back and take out the little crumble right between them flakes. And this still left a little ridge right there. And every flake don't need to be, because see, those flakes right there, that's a big old percussion scar right there. Those flakes don't need to travel but just half, not even half an inch really. But then when I get over here to this high spot in between them percussion scars, I can press them flakes more because that's just mass right there. What that is, just need to get rid of it. But there ain't no mass right here I need to get rid of in that flake scar. So I'm not gonna even try to press them flakes up there. That's another flake scar right there where it's too low. I'm just going to take little bitty short flake till I get back to this ridge right here, and I'll press them back out there again. I think I bent my stick a little bit on that one. So that was a lot of mass right there. I really want to get. Now this next flake thing, I like it to come right over close to that concrete because I'll never get a flake to go past that concrete on this side. That's perfect.
Ralph said Stonehook's awesome.
Thank you, Ralph.
Mr. Ralph Snyder.
Thank you, Ralph. God bless me with a passion for Flintknapping and some opportunities to have some time to flint knap and just I don't know. Flintknapping's been good for me in a lot of ways. But see, I've flaked down both sides of them now. That I got some little hinges going on right back there, but that just smoothed out this whole edge. It didn't necessarily smooth out this top surface of the ridge, but these next flakes, they have a beautiful contour to flow, and they can go farther because they have that beautiful consistent contour. It's just so important for flake scars to travel. That's why most paleo points and things, you know, it's got the cool flake scar patterns like Scott's Bluffs and things. There's some things about that too. Scott's Bluff that we find around here in East Texas and stuff, I don't recall ever seeing one with a medium ridge down it. They are all the most beautiful lenticular profiles you can imagine in the smoothest napping job. Some of them are wide and thin, and some of them are narrow and kind of fat, but they have a very good lenticular profile to them, no matter what the width thickness ratio is. And it's because they established that good contour and shape before they ever. I just used a heavy abrader really that kind of scrunched. I don't think the scrunch just said quite enough though. Let me hit it a little bit harder. I used to shear. I tried shearing for years. I sheared, and I seemed like that darn shear would over shear. It makes such a big bevel right there. It would take off so much material. You'd have to work yourself to death just to get back to center line. Then you still have some bevel remnants left because the bevel was so big. And I don't know. I thought you had to shear. That was just the way it was known, pretty much. I heard freeze crack say one time. I don't shear too much no more. He really was using a grinder scrunching like I'm doing there. And I thought, well, heck, I don't have to shear. I just never liked it, so I just quit shearing. I ain't sheared it since then, I don't think. But it is a good technique. It does good, but it seems to overdo it, I guess. Really, yeah.
Ronald asked a question. He said, Stonehook, you ever had a rock you couldn't nap? Somehow I doubt it.
Well, I did. Matter of fact, I seen a piece of it yesterday. I seen it up around here a little bit. And, I seen a piece of that rock, and a friend of mine, his name is Patrick Trousdale. He's been on here before. Come on, man. He brought that rock over here as a challenge rock. It was unnappable. That's all I could say. It looked unnappable. I think even heat treated it, but it just wasn't nappable. It was so hard. I had another flake one time too of a black rock. It looked so nice. It was real grainy. And man, I about caused carpal tunnel syndrome and everything else trying to get. Then I cut a slab preform out of it. Oh man, just trying to get the first little row of shark flakes. I was crippled for 3 days and finally give up on the darn thing. Ooh. But pressure flaking different. Pressure flaking, you are limited on how much pressure you. Ooh, bad. Stacking them up right there now, darn it. I'm going to wind up having to get that from this other side. I don't know if there's enough contour to even get it from this other side, but I'm almost blocked off from right there. I'm going to just skip that from there. I'm going to work on down this rock, and I'm going to come back. I might have to get the old end ripped out and probably blast under that. But pressure flaking can only do so much. And it's depending on the contours.
Ross Wellman said, Stonehook going live stream tonight. How cool. Hey guys.
Thank you. It's turned out fun. I was nervous wrecked thinking, I ain't cut out for live, but I really enjoy this. This is better than a video. I feel like I'm more connected. You can ask me questions. I love that and be able to try to help more. My stick, that one screw is stripped out. I would put some pressure on this stick. It keeps slipping back in there. I'm gonna have to rebuild this thing. Oh, I see that screw is in there. Crooked. It come out this other hole, look like. No, I don't know what's going on. It ain't holding that copper, I know that. I believe I just screwed that screw too far in there. It kind of cleared the hold where the other. I'm hoping if I can screw this side in more, it's gonna hold me.
He's a good boy.
Yeah, it's got a little nice, yeah, stripped out leg. I'm gonna get a little bit of that burr off there because it's got a burr on there. Looks like a landing pad. I'm limited on camera angles and stuff like this. I guess it's a vertical format. I've never filmed in a vertical format like this here. And it kind of like it zoomed out. I may need to move the camera closer next time if you can't see no details. It looks like this thing's little bitty in the camera. Do I think the camera needs to be closer? Or anything, any suggestions, I appreciate them because I have no idea what's going on. Well, you know how it looks, and I want it to look good. I want to be able to see, you know. I don't get I'm not gonna be offended by nothing. That foul language, you don't tolerate foul language. Cause I want to be proud for my wife to watch this, anything that I watch. I don't want my wife watching it. I don't even want to watch it, so no foul language. That side's pretty good, except for that one spot. It's just smoothing out that edge. I mean, that surface close to the edge there. Got one more side to do right here.
Alan says issue stick wrist workout. I
don't use my wrist. I don't put pressure on my wrist because I fell a few times. I got bad wrists, man. I can hurt them easily, so I've developed ways to not put no pressure on my wrist, and I think everybody should do that. Because I really very little pressure on my wrist. Sometimes I'll try to twist this wrist just to help myself out, and I pop my wrist sometimes doing that. You just gotta, if you really can get your form down where you just kind of relax and let your body, them legs, they can put massive force on this thing. And without any pressure on the wrist. I mean, this wrist is braced against this leg because there's no way I could do this with just free wristed without a lot of support on my wrist. And that's all my legs are supporting. Pretty much the issue stick, it can't bend. My wrist is so tight, there's no way I can. If I try to bend this wrist, I really can't. I do it a little bit. That's how you put the inward pressure, but I'm not going to bend it and put massive amounts of pressure on it. You get hurt that way. That catches up with you when you over pressurize them wrists too much. Cause that's slip. Pressure flaking, you just do it over and over and over, putting so much pressure on your wrist that it's gonna hurt you eventually if you're having pad upside down or something. Same way with direct cussing too. You hear me hit my chair a lot of times, bam, bam, because I got to follow through and don't try to put any stop on that bopper at all. If you're stopping that bopper mid swing anywhere, that's gonna end up putting excessive pressure on your elbows, probably your wrist too a lot of times. Yeah, I know your wrist actually. So it's kind of easy to get hurt, and it's hard to get over it, especially in keep flint napping, you know. But I've been at times where I couldn't even nap without wearing the elbow brace on one arm, a wrist brace on the other arm. Just to try to help me stabilize them, you know, but as long as I don't get away from my legs and keep everything like this, I don't, it's kind of hard to hurt them.
The ref said, "Oh yes, that's the way to do it." Smiley face, thumbs up. Smiley face, thumbs up. Clap, clap,
Thank you.
clap.
Thank you, thank you. I'm just doing the best I can. And I'm having fun. I tell you, I love flint napping ever since. I have enjoyed every flake I think I've ever taken. Some of them, you know, mess things up and I feel frustrated there for a minute or so, but hey. If you're getting frustrated some too, I think it's good every now and then take a break. Come back a week later. It's amazing what just a little time off sometimes can do if you're struggling, you know, when you feel like you're just at a wall or you can't make any progress. A little break helps. I mean, I was a slow learner. I never could wrap my head around. I was around some fine nappers and I've had some fine instruction, but I just couldn't apply it because I just couldn't wrap my head around what in the world is going on, what they talking about, you know. But it was certain little, really it was several little bad habits that were held me back for years. I mean, if I could have overcome those problems, and Free Strat really tried to help me a lot. He really gave me good advice, but I just didn't know how to utilize it or put it into practice.
Will that camera zoom in a little bit?
I don't know. I think I'll have to move it closer. I looked for a zoom button on there earlier. I was going to try to zoom it in, but I don't see that. I'll try to move closer. Let me roll it down a little bit. Probably for this pressure flaking, I'll move it around to the side too. It'll show up though, but I hate moving the camera around so much on y'all. That a little better?
Yes, a little
I'm
better.
about touching the tripod now. I might just, next time I'll put more into this before I get started. I'll have this camera rigged up where I can get it in closer because I'm just right against my leg now almost. This base is still a little bit thick. I don't got that taper that should be in a point. You know, it should just be a good lenticular profile from the tip and then just taper back down pretty thin right here at the base. I still got a pretty thick base.
That's better.
And it's hard to press pressure flakes far enough to really thin this base a whole lot, but that's about all I got. I just I don't know that I could swing on this thing and not kill it, but it does look like a good platform to drive a flute. But even the flute driving there with so much mass coming back close to this tip, it just drops off right there. It don't have a smooth gradual taper up, so that little hump right there just needs to be removed, and then the flute could go off real well. But right now I had to go up over that hump, then through the valley and back up. So that little bit of mass right there really needs to go. I'm going to bevel it back a little bit, press some flakes on this side just like I did on that side. It's a really good idea. I'm real bad about not working this base enough in the process. It would have helped tremendously to take just even those little flakes before I did these sides. And that helps to get this base tapered down better. Instead of waiting until you're about to shape and then try to thin the base. It's hard to get them thin very far. But that's just another one in back. If I could correct it, I would do better every time. But it's a bad habit that actually does hold me back a lot on my bases. And establishing that kind of good contour from end to end. Because like Dan talking about when Jim Redfern looks at a point, he don't look at it, he feels of it. And you can definitely feel a beautiful taper back to the base. I don't have a beautiful taper back to the base on this, but it did thin out a little bit. It looked better than it did with that big thickness right there. And actually, looking at a side profile, I think you can see better up in that green too far up now, but that's a pretty good profile. It's got a radius coming up, like a convex contour coming up. So if I'm gonna flute this thing, which I guess I am, I said I was a while ago. That's good for a flute because the platform will be down below the most thickest part where it's got a radius up, kind of rolling over to your platform. That lets that flute be thicker. If everything was flat, if it was set up flat on the surface, it would be a thin flute and it would want to go straight down the point and it would end in a pretty abrupt hinge fracture, probably because it's too flat to the surface. I'm just trying to figure either which side I want to flute first. I guess this side. It's probably the best side of the point as far as the contour. And a lot of times I'll flute the worst side first, but I think I'm a little bit closer to this side, so I'm gonna do this side first. Man, we on top. Oh, yeah, that thing just stabbed right through my nose. We talked last night about them clovers dudes, how they flute and stuff. And my opinion is that they didn't think twice about that flute. I mean, they was already, I've been very blessed to be able to hold a few Clovis points and a couple big ones that found on McFadden Beach. And I could tell that dude that napped it, I feel like he just went down each side of that point on McFadden Beach. It had like 3 or 4 big overshot flakes. Beautiful flute and just kind of short pressure flakes. They was kind of look like them flakes right there. They just only went a little ways up onto the point, but they blended in perfectly smooth. And both sides was exactly the same. But I think when he was beating that thing out, man, it was nothing to him. He flipped it over, bam, take 2 relief flakes, and bam, hit the thing. I don't think he ever thought about it too hard like we do, because that was going to get it on a stick. I think they did that because that's most easiest way to be able to split a stick and slide it up over a point is on a flute like that. Now, I think I'm gonna set this up with a pressure flaker. I would love to be real confident and just take up a percussion flake, and a big flute. But I don't know. I feel pretty comfortable with it. Y'all making me feel, excuse me, y'all make me feel at home here. Oops, see I missed. Hey, wait a minute. I don't mean when I'm going to make flute like this right here, it kind of overwhelms my senses a little bit, and that's what makes me mess up. There wouldn't be nothing to it if I just, flute the thing real quick and don't think about it too much. I missed. Got a beautiful flake. About 99% of my platform is still there. Got that big old bulb and lip right there. If I hit that, it's just gonna try to run in here too. So I got to move this platform over there a little bit and try. I don't know if that's showing up very well. I mean, I just love if that flake would have went right down the middle of this point. It would have been just exactly what I wanted. But I missed. A lot of Clover's point too had more. They didn't just get it in one flute every time, but they were darn good at taking that second flake too. I think better than I am. Oh, Mr. Bill don't even know what happened yet.
Break it? Oh.
Heck, I'm gonna flute it anyway. Now I can't believe I did that, but I did it. Oh heck. Now I can relax and I won't let it go on no more now for a minute or two, because I just solved all that tension I was experiencing. That would have been an amazing Clovis bass too. It still is an amazing Clovis bass. It just don't have a tip on it. It's amazing for me, I think, because I love that big old percussion flute. Actually, that's almost too flat right there, so I'm gonna actually take some little flakes back across there and give me a little bit more, so if I run with it like it is, that flute would initiate a little too low and too thin. Get me a little bit of convexity there close to the edge though, and then rebevel this thing. The flute will come off thicker. It's not the gear off. Granite bad boy. These are no special flutes. That's the thing about a Clovis flute, is a percussion flute. Man, these things here just put power in the rock like nothing else. Make something bugging me. Look there. I kind of missed to the left again, actually. See, the right-hand side of my platform is still there, but that's another. I don't know what's going on. I don't normally get that good of a flute flick it up when the camera's rolling, so maybe I'm just made for live action. Cause I'm hoping I'll really be more kind of a mirror correct when I start this. I don't know why. I just want to do well, and I want to help more than anything. Even if it takes breaking every point I make, if that helps you, I'll break one. I didn't get very clean isolation flakes for that flute, really. I would have been really smart to set them up with a pressure flaker and then mix them with the bopper.
Our panel said, dag gammit. How you say it?
Thank you, dadgummit. Then we said dadgummit.
Dadgummit?
Dadgummit. What went wrong? It went right. Sort of right. Did really good. I'm happy.
Gotcha. That would have been a beauty.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Well, I really enjoyed this. I hate this book with a purple passion because I have saved this rock for so long. Man, it's okay. Not that, but this was a special rock to me. But it did have more. I was not expecting them inclusions to be in there. Them's not typically in them nice little Texas tabs like this here. I guess this one's so big it just had some in it. But I've really enjoyed it. I don't know how long we've been on here. I wouldn't mind just keep going, because I'm really having fun with this. I really like this, so I think I'm going to pick out a day. I'm going to have to pick out a day. Y'all even give me my suggestions if you got something of a day to do a live stream, because I don't know. I know that Cappy does them Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and Sal Saturday, Sunday, and Marty. I don't know if he got a schedule or not. I'm gonna pick out a day and start trying to do lives on that one day, I guess. 'Cause I really enjoyed this, I appreciate y'all watching and participating. It's been fun. I appreciate Bill for being here and kick-starting me. And Jasper.
And
Jasper's the guard dog.
home skillet.
Yeah, home skillet. She's back there on the shelf. She just wants to put a claw in the eye of Jasper probably or something. Anyways, thank you. And I'll be back.
Alright.
I'm gonna have to turn it off. Take it out. Still don't know how to turn it off.